Yo, welcome back to Kai Speaks, bro. First of all, I got to start this video off by saying I appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing on these videos, man. We're slowly growing this channel every day, and we've been working. We've been pushing for new limits, new heights, bro, and continuing to try to grow in all aspects of being a content creator, entrepreneur, and day trader, bro. I recently just took a step back in the day trading thing. Losing a funded account, but I'll talk about that in my trading video if you're interested in that on High Academy of 5. But I took a step back, and one of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur is sometimes you take steps back to leap forward, right? One of the biggest things is always just being confident in yourself and knowing that you can succeed no matter what happens, right? One of the biggest things that I've learned is that I could lose it all, but knowing the knowledge that I have, I can gain it back within months, right? And that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't understand with when it comes to being, whether it's a funded trader, whether it's content creator, entrepreneur, is that a lot of this stuff could just disappear, right? Recently there has been with the tariffs, a lot of drop shippers have been losing. It's been a lot harder to do what they do best, right? Which is buy stuff from China, bring it up for cheap, and then sell it, resell it, right? But um, you really just have to adjust as an entrepreneur. That's one of the biggest things is to be able to be adjustable and flexible, bro. Like one of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur is that any of this stuff can go. They could easily ban YouTube for some reason. They could ban TikTok like they've done before. They can ban all these social medias. So one of the biggest things, and I've said this before when they actually first banned TikTok, is that you just always have to have a second stream, right? A second source. And I say this because it's really risky to only have one thing that you're relying on as an entrepreneur because that thing can be gone within a snap of the fingers. It could just be you could be having a really slow month with it. Like for example, if I wasn't doing YouTube and I was just slowly relying on day trading, I'd be down right now, right? Because I wouldn't be doing anything because now that my account's gone, I got to build it back up and things like that. So yeah, that's one of the biggest things is just always having more than one source of income of a business, whatever it is. I genuinely think that you should always have more than one source, and this is huge because a lot of people don't realize how important it is to have like multiple businesses. I think people think that it's risky to be an entrepreneur, but honestly, it's only risky if you're only relying on one business, right? If you're relying on one single thing, because if that goes wrong, then it's all out the window, right? But you have 3 to 4 sources of incomes and entrepreneurship businesses that you own and stuff like that. Then the chances of you failing are, likely to none, right? And even if you do, you have 3 other ones to fall back on, right? So it's just like you always need to have different types of sources of income, different type of sources of businesses, whatever it is. You always need to have multiple of them because that's one of the biggest things about being a day trader, content creator, and an entrepreneur is that I'm already focused on 3 things, right? So with me, with day trading not going wrong, that doesn't really affect how my business goes as far as content creation and posting YouTube shorts and like being a content creator, right? So I genuinely think that you need to explore what's out there for you and what you like to do, right? Like one of the biggest things about being a content creator is I like to do this. I like to talk about becoming an entrepreneur, how to become better in 2025. From my personal experiences, I like to engage with others that have been going through the same thing. I like to be on YouTube, create content, right? Like that's one of the biggest things I love doing this, right? And I love day trading. So I found 2 to 3 things that I love to do that I could be an entrepreneur and I could do myself without having a boss over me. And I created it, right? I created a YouTube channel. I created a day trading channel. I started day trading, right? So I genuinely think that a lot of people feel like being an entrepreneur is risky, but honestly, relying on one source of income, relying on one business to set you up that's risky because anything can go wrong. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I've been going through right throughout this month that I realized because this month has honestly not been the best month as far as for day trading, and day trading is a huge part of me because that's where I mainly go to, where I mainly reside at, right? And it's not been a good month at all. But one of the biggest things that I realized is that I've just genuinely found full confidence in what I do, right? And no matter if I lose, no matter if I win, I know what I'm doing is right and I know how to do it. So I've gotten to a point where um, there's nothing anybody could say really to throw me off my game and, make me mess up in the charts, make me mess up in content, because I'm at a certain point where it's just like confidence is everything, right? So I know what I'm doing at this point. Like I walk with confidence, I speak with confidence because I know what I'm doing and I know what I went through, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things about being an entrepreneur is that you have to be confident in yourself because there's not going to be a lot of people that believe in you. So you have to be the one that believes in yourself, right? I genuinely think that a lot of people just go through being an entrepreneur, listening to everything everybody says and all their opinions. But if you do that, honestly, you won't make it far as an entrepreneur. If I'm being completely honest, if you listen to what everybody has to say, you're not a little bit hard-headed and not listening, then you won't succeed because everybody has their own opinions on how to do this and how to do that, right? And sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But the biggest thing that I usually say is that you have to rely on yourself, right? You can't rely on other people's decisions and use them as an excuse if you're wrong, right? Or if you're right, even. So, like, one of the biggest things, and I say this because people could tell you how to run your business and, they could possibly be right, but let's say they're wrong. Now you went off of somebody else's opinions, even though you had a different idea, and now you're wrong and now you're failing. And instead of blaming yourself, you blame them, and now you get into this sense of like, oh, I can't do this and that, like I should have learned, I should have did what I wanted to do, and it's too late, right? So I genuinely say you got to realize you're an entrepreneur, you work for yourself, you make your own decisions, so you have to be able to make your own decisions at all times. Like that's one of the most important things. I can't stress that enough, is that like you can't let everybody tell you what to do. Sometimes you just got to go out there and figure it out, right, for yourself. And that's one of the hardest things to do because you feel like you're not really doing anything, you're not guided. Our whole life we're guided into where we need to go, into where we want to go. But as an entrepreneur, you really just got to find your way. You got to find a way to make it happen, right? Because I want a whole bunch of things. I want a penthouse, I want nice cars, I want this and that right now. But until I get there, like it's just finding out how to get there, bro. Like there's nobody I can ask how to get that stuff. Literally, like they're gonna tell me like, oh, create businesses, do this and that, but they're not gonna hold me by the hand and guide me to a penthouse or guide me to a new car. I have to find out how to do that stuff myself, right? And I genuinely feel like that's what's gonna separate me from a lot of entrepreneurs, and that's what's gonna make me successful in 2025 is being able to just figure things out for myself and knowing what to do with myself, right? Knowing what to do with my business, knowing what to do with this content creation, know what to do with day trading, right? And I think that's one of the biggest things that all entrepreneurs should do is realize that you are an entrepreneur, you're your own boss, so you have to make your own decisions, right? And even whether they're right or wrong, you live with it. But man, that's pretty much it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my socials at Kai Speaks 05. And if you're interested in my day trading journey, follow me at Kai Academy 05, where I've posted from the start of this year to the end of this year. It's going to be new content every single day. I even have a Discord for teaching people how to trade. But if you're interested in that, just DM me on Instagram. But I hope you enjoyed this video, man. I hope you make the most out of 2025. Peace.